What's going on? Mondays, you know what time it is. Time for the collective to get together. Jake's dancing, doing the wave, or whatever we're gonna call it. Fates with me. What's going on, guys? And hate everyone in the live chat.
What's up, everybody? Surf's up. I don't know. What?
I don't know. I don't know what you were doing, bro.
I was just vibing out to that killer intro. I wonder who made that.
I don't know, but he's pretty cool.
I don't know, man. I don't know about. No, I'm just kidding. How's everyone doing? What are we up to this week?
Bro, it's been a crazy couple of days. Not a lot has been going on, but I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to talk about this whole idea of the Bermuda Triangle, which is something that has, it's been a creepy ass story and something of interest since I was a kid, man. How about you guys?
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah, it's existed since the dawn of time. No, I mean, there's definitely all kinds of mysteries, and I mean, there's all kinds of different triangles, right? Like we could expand this into a series.
What? For real? Are you messing with me right now? There's more.
There's like the Alaskan Triangle. There's the Bermuda Triangle. There's the the Atlantic Triangle. There's like literally 5 or 6 triangles that are all very similar. Like that they have experiences. They have UFO things. Like I'm telling you, we could do a whole series on the different triangles.
So is the Bermuda Triangle just the worst one? Is that why we know about this?
It's just the most popular one. It's just the one that has the most stories and has the most things that have happened. It has the most ships sunk. It has the most. It's just the one that got polarized. And I believe it was. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was there was a book, a long time ago, that somebody wrote highlighting it, and then it just scientists have studied it, and it's kind of just became the polarized one. But there's literally 100 different. You guys talk for a minute. I'm gonna look up the names of all the other ones.
He's like, you do it. I didn't know there were 100 of them. I knew there were.
I don't know if there's that many. That might be a little exaggerated, but I know that there's at least a couple handfuls.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, you guys in the chat? Tanisha, that's what she said. Blucka, Paula, Russell. Hope you guys are doing well. What were we gonna say, Jake?
I was just gonna say, I'm like, man, all of Ohio must be a bunch of triangles. I mean, it is all just. If you walk outside right now, it looks like a horror movie, all the time. It is horrifying.
Wow.
But I don't know, it's just weird. I'm just kind of still blown away by that little fun fact. I do know, as of most recently, though, did they confirm this, deny this, whatever? Didn't they find Amelia Earhart, her plane?
I think that they believe that it. I don't know if it was confirmed yet.
No confirmation on
confirmed.
That. Okay.
I could look that up in a second too. See, there's the Michigan Triangle.
The Michigan Triangle.
Devil's Triangle is the Bermuda Triangle. I know that.
Nice.
Come on, where's the? Oh, here we go. Yeah, we got the Alaskan Triangle. The Michigan Triangle. We got these are all coming up. I want things similar to the Bermuda Triangle. Maybe I should have typed in Bermuda Triangle. Well, I typed in triangles similar to the Bermuda Triangle, and it just is giving me a bunch of articles about the Bermuda Triangle.
I want the other triangles, damn it.
Yeah.
I want other triangles. I want triangle pride.
Go into your hole.
Superstitious Mountain. Oh, the South Atlantic Anomaly, Lake. Oh, these are things that are similar. The Devil Sea is the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, the thing that kills me the most is when you have these ships that just totally just disappear, man. It's like
Bennington Triangle. That's
they didn't exist. I mean, there's talk of, well, is this like a portal to another dimension? Is this a thing with extraterrestrials? Is this what goes on?
The madness.
Well, that's the thing, and it's crazy because it's been so many.
There's been so many different. Yeah, all of these little, like, there's the Bridgewater Triangle. I found the name Bennington Triangle, um, San Luis Valley, Michigan Triangle, and then like I said, there's like a handful of these like places that are there,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them have. I mean, like I said, the Bermuda Triangle is the one that's most like popularized, but
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy how like the paranormal occurrences and yeah, just everything that goes along with that.
Yeah, man. I mean, when we said we were going to do this and we were gonna get some information and maybe some examples. I mean, just looking over all of these things, at least that I found that were listed, it's just so weird. You know,
Yeah.
there's a story about the one that came to my mind. I mean, there was a couple, but one that came to my mind was this battleship called the Cyclops. And I guess from what and who knows if it's still true, but I guess it was the largest loss of life in the history of the U.S. Navy in a single incident. And it's like, where did that ship go? It's like,
It
and I
just
think
vanished.
yeah. I mean, this was like I don't know, it was like 1920 or something like that. But anyways, it was a ship that was sailing from Brazil to Baltimore and had over 1,000 or 10,000 tons of ore and all that type of stuff, 400 crew members. But anyways, same idea. It's like, it's just gone. There's no trace of it. There's nothing. And it's like, it's just scary. It's kind of scary when you think about it. You know, it really, really is.
People should just stop going through there. That's
Well, I guess so. That's true too. It's like,
Well,
Jake.
there's a
am I wrong? I mean,
well, the thing is too about that too, that you have to like, I think you have to put into context, is it's a big travel route.
It is.
Because it's like a big for like, you know, shipping goods and all kinds of stuff. So like, yeah, there's like these out, like one out of every like million voyages, right? Like,
Mhm.
but like if you put it in comparison to like these other places, like they're not like, there's not, it's not like there's this so much more abundance of ships compared to some other high traffic, you know, sea areas or whatever, right? Or path routes, whatever. But it's just, there definitely is like something there. It's just the stories behind that place, right?
Right.
It's like there's ships that go down all the time. I mean, there's ships that disappear all the time. I mean, there's
Well,
all
you're
these
right.
trade routes,
It's like
but
all
it's
the
the
little
story.
details with it is that what
Yes.
makes it weird. Because, like for instance, with that ship, the captain never sent a distress signal. You know what I'm saying? So, in other words, by all accounts, you would think that nothing was wrong, and then all of a sudden, you know, when you try to investigate it, because there was an investigation, of course, nothing was ever found. But when you think about that, it's like, okay, there was no distress signal. No one aboard responded to radio calls from other vessels in the vicinity and all that type of stuff. So it's like, it really just sounds weird when you put all those details together. So Blucka was talking about the X-Files. It does sound like something
Yeah.
from the freaking X-Files. Oh my
Well,
God.
the thing is too is we don't know. Like the problem is too is like we don't know exactly. Like there's all kinds of theories of like why these ships keep disappearing and why things keep happening the way that they're happening. But like we don't. There's no like definitive like, oh, this is the answer, right? Like a lot of them believe that like there's just like it's the magnetic pole there, and like because like you get a lot of reports of like people's compasses going haywire, or they're like electronics just completely shutting down. Like that's one of the things that I remember about the Cyclops thing was that they were like that there was no distress call or anything like that, and it might have just been that nothing was working, like it just completely shut down their cabin. So it's just like, you know, there's something strange there, right? But like also like it gets like fogs that other places don't get. It gets like all kinds of stuff that like when you look at it from like a scientific standpoint, it's like, okay, there's a lot of things that can make sense, right? And a lot of like the disappearances they believe is not like they didn't disappear in the triangle, that the triangle messed something up and then they kept going. And like that's why they haven't been able to find them, because you know it's a vast ocean, right? So like if you're in the triangle and you like, you know, and all comps go out, and you travel another 20 miles, right, before your ship goes down or something happens to your ship, and now it's sunk there. Like they're only gonna search so much of a radius, right?
Right.
Because you can, like, I mean, you could spend years in like a 10 by 10 radius with just like the depths of the ocean, like all the variables that are under there, right? Like, and then so it's just like how many of those ships are like that are just haven't been discovered or just questionably vanished, aren't really vanished. They're
Mm-hmm.
just like, you just gotta go a mile down the road,
Right.
and then it's like, oh,
Right.
there it is. Like, but it's just like, how much manpower are you gonna put into that? Because I mean that costs time, money, resources, and it's like, well, you shouldn't have went through the triangle.
That's right. But you know what we
Or you-
should do? We have a knock at the door, and
but
we
now we're
should.
not a triangle anymore.
We're not going to be a triangle. We're going to be a friggin' square, bro. Come on, man.
Triangles are
Let's
too scary. Screw
let's
that,
bring-
man.
let's bring in our good friend Steven from Craven Something Scary. What's up,
Hey guys, how
Hey,
we
what's
doing?
Craven, I was scared
No more
for a bit
scary
there, man.
triangles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
way too scary.
it was way too
Aw.
scary. Way too bad.
Way too
Um,
bad.
Real quick, too, and Jake, we should get your thoughts on it, too, and then we can go to Steven. But I just wanted to say in the chat, man, we have Denisha's in the house and has a channel member anniversary 3 months. Just wanted to say thank you to Denisha. You rock. Thank you so much for all your support and love. Very, very cool. Yeah, there you go, Jake. We should give-
I'm doing all the visuals for you.
You
You
are.
keep talking, and I got you, man.
Okay, man. This could be a new thing. I'm kind of digging that. It's almost like. Oh, let me stop. I won't go there. I was gonna make another joke.
The triangle gets him so pumped.
Yeah.
Dude, it's my favorite shape. Like, I'm so excited.
Wow. So, Jake, what are your thoughts on the Bermuda Triangle?
I'm very excited to get into it tonight because it's something that's eluded me for a long time. I'm curious as to what like what the significance is of it, like what the theories are, like what really people believe is the significance of this. You know what I mean? Is it really allocated to this triangle for whatever reason? Like, is there, are there things that we can bring up about all that? I'm just excited to dive on into it, man. It's some scary shit. A lot of weird things have happened all in this little secluded area. I wonder if there is any science behind it or if it's just conspiracy. You never know. I'm here for it, man.
Same here. Steven, this is obviously something that interests you quite a bit. What are your overall thoughts or any particular incidents that have come through your mind over the years?
For sure. Yeah, this is something that's fascinated me since I was really a kid. My whole life, I've always had this spot that I like of intrigue and interest in this Bermuda Triangle, right? So digging into some of the stuff it is fascinating, and no one knows, of course, the exact number of ships, or planes that have gone missing. Right now, currently, the estimating is 20 planes that have disappeared, including a 5-plane squadron from
Wow.
I don't know if it was the Navy or the Air Force. It was a 5-plane squadron that went out. All of them went off radar, gone, never found them. Just bizarre. And they estimate right now, since the mid 1900s, now I'm talking about 20 planes and approximately 50 ships that have gone down unexplainably. Just completely went down. Most of them with no maydays, no distress signals. It was like just they're here and then they're gone. And this goes back a long way, though. And what I find interesting is that Christopher Columbus, guys, we're going back to 1492. Christopher Columbus, on his first voyage to the New World, he sailed through the Bermuda Triangle. And he reported one night during the trip, he went to the deck of the ship and he noticed a giant light appearing in the distance. Don't know. He said it was unlike anything he'd ever seen.
Wow.
Don't know what that was. He noted that in his whatever, his journal or whatever.
Long.
Yeah. And he also looked at his compass and for direction, and it gave erratic readings. It was all over the place. The needle, west, north, south. It was all jumbled up. I know I have a little lag, I think, going on. Sorry about that. I can't. It's a computer issue. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm trying to work on it, trying to get it fixed. Anyway, so this is back in 1492.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something else that's very interesting about the Bermuda Triangle is that storms build up quickly for some reason, and
Mm-hmm.
then they like come out of nowhere, and then they calm down just as fast. Which the theory is this is why a lot of ships don't have even a distress signal because everything's fine, and then all of a sudden this storm arises and sucks the boat under and or the ship under, and they're gone, man. They're
Mm.
just gone. And here's a couple of other interesting things. Well, one in particular, I think, is that there's high amounts of methane on the ocean floor of the Bermuda Triangle, that specific area. And when mixed with water, they say what happens is it causes huge waves.
Mm.
And so they could be sailing, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden they're like in these waves, huge waves begin to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was described by some that it looks like a wall of water. They're so high, it's like a wall that you're going into. And again, it sucks you under when you go into there. It pulls the ship down.
Mm-hmm.
So really, really, really wild stuff, guys. And there's one now. I'm going to get a little wonky because I got to go down the wonky lane for just a second.
Let's do it.
This is my last point. Then I'll let you guys talk about it. So there's a big group of people, or like a section of folks that believe the lost city of Atlantis
I've heard about that.
is underneath the Bermuda Triangle in there, and that it's the actual reason for all that's going on. It's very, mythical. It's mythology, but that's where the city is. And of course, I can't, I had to mention it, but because it's out there. But what I find interesting are these sudden storms that appear.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, the thing that makes me scratch my head the most now and is why can't they find the physical wreckage?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
They disappeared. Like they're not
Yes.
even in the water on the ocean floor.
Well, that's my thing. Like I was talking about it earlier. I don't think you were backstage yet. Like one of the things that most likely explains it is, you're going through the Bermuda Triangle. Let's say it's a rogue wave. Let's say it's like there's all kinds of fogs that will randomly appear. They think that there's magnetic poles there that causes all their compasses, and that's why there's never a distress signal. Again, we don't like scientists don't know exactly what the answer is, but they all have like various theories, and all of them kind of point to the same thing, right? So the idea is that like, okay, you're going through the Bermuda Triangle, and like let's say you do get hit by a wave. That wave is going to sail you who knows how far, right? And now because even if it takes you under, you got the current, you got everything. Like, let's say even you kick out 3 miles, right? Well, that's another radius outside of the Bermuda Triangle that they have to search for you. And you're talking manpower, you're talking money, you're talking whatever. Now, imagine if you're a ship, your comps and everything go down, you're passing through the Bermuda, and then your ship sinks 10 miles out, or say a plane, and it passes over, and boom, everything just shuts off. It dies.
Yeah.
You're going down, and you fall 10 miles out. I don't necessarily. I'm not saying that they, the disappearing thing is fun to talk about, but reality, all those ships and planes and everything are very likely out there somewhere. It's just, again, like how far do you have to go to find it? So it's like Jake mentioned it earlier. Like, think of how long Amelia Earhart has been gone, and they believe that they found her plane, right? So, and think of how, like, it's been what, over 100 years, right? Like, when did she go
Something
down?
like that.
So
Yeah,
I
it's been
they're
it's been like 100
just,
years.
yeah, and they're just now, or they don't even know for sure if it's that. They believe that they found her wreckage. So
Wow.
like it could be a different wreckage. It could be anything. So I mean, that's the thing is that like how far are you going to search? Even if you do have a search party for like naval ship or one of these carrier ships or whatever, right? Like you're only going to look at a certain radius, and if it's out of that radius, well, then there you go. Like it's you're probably never going to find it. I mean, there's all kinds of wreckages that have been around for. I mean, there's ships that are supposedly have like billions of dollars in US, like today's US currency and like gold and stuff that people have dedicated their entire lives to find and spending millions of dollars a year and aren't able to find it. How much money, resources, and power are people going to look for like some random plane that just went down and like a dad and his son went away? It's like, oh, that sucks. Like I know that sounds messed up, but I mean that's the reality. Somebody has to fund that. Somebody has to pay for that. So like that's kind of I agree with that logical answer of like, yeah, I mean, because they have found wreckages in the
Yes.
triangle.
Oh yeah,
Well, I was just about to say that was one incident that was kind of interesting to me, man. It was this one. It's called the goat. What is it? The Ghost Ship of the Outer Banks, and that was a vessel that they found that I had run inland or whatever. And when they found the vessel, there was nothing there. They didn't find any of the crew members. They didn't find any of the personal belongings, navigation stuff, the logs. Everything was just gone. The rafts, all of that. Now, granted, the ship was kind of part of the whole, rum industry and stuff like that. So, some people speculated, well, they just cut loose. But at the time, and we're talking, I think this was like in the 20s or something like that. It still was very odd that everything was gone. The ship had run aground, and it's one of those mysteries of something that was found right through the triangle, and it's just like a mystery. Like no one was ever found, and there was this huge investigation about it. So it's like you were saying, Fate. If your ship sinks and it's caught by the current and it's taken out even a couple of miles or whatever, I mean, it's probably damn near impossible to find it, right? But then you have these other situations like some of the ships like this one that had been found, and it's just so weird, the circumstances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they found like I don't know, just something, even if they found some of the ship's logs or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, maybe this is what happened, but it was like totally empty, like just totally empty. And plus planes, that's the other thing too, like planes. It's like, so I guess what I'm saying is that to me anyways, that what makes it interesting is that there's so many different instances and they're all creepy. It's like
very creepy.
Yeah.
Well, like the play, like Blucka had a comment earlier where he was like, "What's I think he was what's stranger, a plane disappearing or a ship?" I mean, out in the ocean, it's a plane, right? Like, because I mean, it's just like a rogue wave, things like that happen. That's why I do believe like the plate, the magnetic poles and things like that, tectonic plates and stuff. Like, I think that makes sense because, like Blucka said, don't forget about earthquakes, tectonic plate shifts. To me, that's the explanation for planes, right? Because it's like the ships, okay, it could be rogue waves, it could be whatever. I mean, I think it's like there's a couple handful of theories. It's also very possible that it's a combination of all of them. Right? It's also a possibility that it is part fog, part waves, part methane gas, part magnetic fields, part like, and
part
it's just
city
like,
of Atlantis.
Yeah, part city of Atlantis, part aliens. We can go to aliens in a minute here, but like I think it's very possible that it's just like a combination of things, and it's just like one of those places on Earth that's just like Mother Nature's like, gotcha, and there's places like that all over the place where it's just like if you go there you will die, right? But like I mentioned earlier, it's like there's Craven. How many planes or how many ships do you think did it say that were lost? Like
currently, since the 1900s, they're estimating 50 50 ships right now have gone
See,
down.
like, so you're talking 50 ships out of how many over that time? Over like what, 130-year span, 120-year span?
Yeah,
Like
thousands.
how many
Yeah.
ships? Yeah, I mean, just the law of average. There's gonna be. I'm actually surprised it's not more, because you got to think of like
Yep.
the thousands of ships that are going through there, through routes, and planes flying over and all that stuff that are constantly going through. You're going to have these anomalies. You're going to have these like just strange occurrences, right? If it was like 50 out of 51 ships, I'd be like, oh man, like, maybe there's something there. But 50 out of like 5 million is like 1% of 1% of 1%. Like it's such a small scale. Like it's just eventually that stuff is going to happen. And you're talking about like the ocean, and you're talking about waves, and you're talking about all kinds of things that we don't even understand yet. I mean, we haven't even discovered all of the ocean. Like we don't even have we know more about space than we do about our own planet, which is crazy. So like there could be a million reasons that we don't even realize yet as to why about that area. The lost city of maybe the Atlanteans are just taking these out and taking them to their underwater base. Who knows? It could be a million things. Maybe it's aliens. Yeah, we talk about aliens. Jake loves aliens. So.
I do. I really like aliens.
He's like, I do.
It is aliens, by the way. That's what I'm going to add to the conversation. Like, they just like the little triangles on our planet, and they just like to steal people in ships. So there you go. Don't know what to tell you.
Have you guys seen the movie War Dogs?
No.
With, oh my God, what's his name?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, yeah. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Well, there's a scene where it's not like a super important scene, but there's a scene where like they go through like was it like the Devil's Triangle or whatever it's called? It's not the Bermuda Triangle. It's like what it's called.
Japan.
No, they're in Iraq or Afghanistan, something like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because it's based on a true story. It's about like arms dealers, and so yeah, so like he like goes through. They go through like so they basically drove through the triangle rather than like flying, and it's called that because that's where like all of the that's where all that war action is. And like everyone that goes through there dies apparently. Well, they ended up making it through and surviving. Apparently that was actually true. They really did that. But there's a scene where one of the guys goes like, where he goes like, man, I can't believe you guys made it through the Devil's Triangle or whatever. You got through the Devil's Triangle. And he's like, and Jonah Hill's character is like, yeah, we get through all triangles. The Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Triangle, your mom's triangle. Every time I hear you guys say, Bermuda's Triangle. And then the guy's like, can we take a picture? He's like, yeah, come on over here. Like, I don't know. It's a funny. If you saw the movie, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's hilarious. It's just like a funny scene. Where he's like,
everyone pause the stream. Go watch that entire film.
Go watch that.
Come
back.
Back.
That's right.
Come right back.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Just fast forward to that.
God.
But anyway, sorry. Aliens.
We're really on aliens now. We're doing this. All right. All right.
Aliens are part of it. Aliens are part of the theory.
I mean, we talked about ships, planes going missing. We need an answer. And listen, man, a giant UFO sucking things up. That's an answer, whether you like it or not. Maybe not the most plausible one. but it's something nonetheless. I mean, real question though, real talk. What do you guys think is the explanation behind that? Why we can't find so many of these ships and planes?
Oh man,
because you know what I think. So
aliens,
aliens. No, I don't know, man. That's what makes it interesting to me, because there is a part of me that thinks, okay, kind of like what Fate was saying. You're off course. You could be shifted miles, dozens of miles away, and you're just not going to be found. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. So there's a part of me that really subscribes to that theory. And in a lot of cases, that probably is what it is. But then there's the other part of me that's thinking, it's just a lot of weird stuff, man. Planes, ships, crew members, you don't find anything. A couple times that some things have been found, it's just super weird circumstances with that. So I don't know, man. I don't know about aliens, but Something is weird. Like it's just I don't know. I guess especially when I was a kid, my thought was always that it's just a weird place. I'm not talking about the other triangles. There could be stuff like that too, but just a weird place with the magnetic, you know, pull and all these different things, and like you were saying, Stephen, the methane and all that.
Yep.
It's just some weird juju. It's a
Mhm.
weird combination, and it's
That's
something
right.
that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes just can't be explained. That's where I'm at.
Those are the best
Well, it makes
mysteries,
you
the
think.
hardest ones to answer.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why they're almost timeless.
Yeah.
We're still talking about it today and all these decades, and you know,
Hmm.
but it makes you wonder too if they got thrown off course so far
Hmm.
outside of the triangle zone where they would search, why wouldn't their instruments work again? If it's magnetic, if it's not actually like damage being done to them,
Hmm.
it makes you wonder like why couldn't they get a mayday out
Well,
or
like
some type of a signal?
if you go to certain areas, like there's certain areas, like even like you can just go to and hike. Like what is it? I think Yellowstone has like certain areas where like if you have a compass, it just won't work. Like
Mhm.
there's places all over the planet that like just if you have any electron, like your phone won't work,
Yeah.
like everything just shuts off. Like
Hmm.
there's hikers that go missing all the time because they just get lost because none of their equipment's working, and they have
Hmm.
like everything you could ever imagine. But it just there's just areas where things just mess with our technology. But sorry, it was just an answer that popped in my head with what you were saying. But
Well, I'll cash out on this one like this. I don't know. Like Knight, I'm with Knight. I don't have an answer, man. I think that the mystery is so interesting. What I'd like to do if I was independently wealthy, I would
Hmm.
like to do a tour, a Bermuda Triangle tour where we get on a ship, not a huge cruise ship, but a large ship, and we actually go to like halfway through the Bermuda Triangle, turn around and come back to Florida, and it's the Bermuda tour. If do you have the guts to go out in the ship to the Bermuda Triangle and charge a
Man,
bunch of money and
you
So
got to
you
make
would
sure
do
that
it.
ship is
poking
good.
the bear,
Apparently.
dude. Yeah, you're
yeah,
poking
I
the
know.
I
bear.
just okay. So hold on, because you're right with me with that one, Jake. Because
I
I would
know.
not do that. There
I
is
would do it. I'd be
you
down with it.
couldn't pay me enough money to do it. You couldn't.
That's
Lots of
horror
Yeah,
movie
lifeboats.
setup,
we
dude.
wouldn't be paying
Right.
you. You'd be paying us. So
Well,
it's
I definitely wouldn't be. So okay, so Jake, you wouldn't do it, right?
Oh, dude, I'm terrified of ships. Like, my biggest fear in life is getting on a cruise ship and it sinks. Like, no way, man.
Ooh.
I can't, people cry watching the Titanic. I'm underneath the covers not watching the movie because it's too much for me. I'm like, that is the worst
Oh.
situation I think I could ever be in. I don't
Mm.
know. Drowning, my worst fear by far. Like, no
Yeah,
way.
it's probably mine too.
Drowning's
Yep.
one of the most peaceful ways to die.
Oh no.
Oh,
Dude,
No, no, no,
stop.
no, no,
in
no,
the
no.
black ocean
It
where
is.
it's like you can't see anything, there could just be a shark hanging out underneath you, ready to just chomp off your legs, man. No way. No way, dude.
There's when you drown, there's the immediate panic, and then after the panic stage, it's just pure calm, pure calm.
Oh,
Because it's you literally are just it's like an out of body experience.
I can't.
So
Like,
what if sharks are ripping you apart while all of this is happening? Is
Well,
it still
and that's
calm?
not, you're not dying. You're not dying because of drowning. You're dying because of sharks.
All right, then let me rephrase that. I'm not afraid of drowning. I'm afraid of being in an ocean where it's so dark outside I can't see my hand in front of
It's
my
just
face
like-
and sharks are circling me. That's what I'm scared
It's like
of.
you're not afraid. You're not afraid of heights. You're afraid of falling. Like people aren't afraid of
Yeah,
heights.
yeah.
Because if you could fly, you wouldn't be afraid of heights. But like it's what happens. Like so you wouldn't do what oh man, what's his name? He was even on like Joe Rogan. There's the guy that he's an astronaut and depth researcher. Like anyway, they basically go underwater in the dark of the ocean in these like pods, and they have to like live there. And he like
No.
told this story of like this one time, like literally like one of the scariest moments was like this giant eyeball just like at the window, and it was like
Oh.
a whale or something, or like a giant fish or something. And he's like,
Nope.
because he's like, it's just pitch black. He's like, it's just
Mm-mm.
like you can't see anything. And he's like, even to go to the bathroom, like there's like a little like port or whatever, like a porta potty almost out in the ocean floor, and you gotta like swim to that in the dark.
Oh my god!
man.
I'd hold it. I would explode. All the poop and pee would just explode out of me. I don't know. That's what's happening.
Man, I meant to say this. I've been on one cruise, an Alaskan cruise, for a 7-day cruise many years ago, and it was amazing. I mean, it was wonderful. The sights were just gorgeous. I recommend if any of you ever have the opportunity, I highly recommend an Alaskan cruise once in your life.
Mhm.
It will blow your mind when you see the glaciers with your own eyes and the greens. It's just I've never seen anything like it. But
Mhm.
I will also say this: we had a balcony room, and I'm like, I remember thinking back, and I would go out in the balcony a few times and look down at the water, and it's gorgeous and all. But I'm thinking to
Mhm.
myself, man, if it was nighttime and you were to walk out there and somehow slip, lose your footing, I say because it rains a lot, and at least when we were out there, just kind of wet.
Mhm.
If you were to fall off into that water, not even talking about the cold, that's a whole nother issue. I'm just
Right.
talking about, let's say it's a Caribbean cruise and it's nice and warm. Doesn't matter. It's pitch black. All you have is the moonlight. It would be horrifying. And the ship's going to be gone. They're gone. They're not going to even know you're missing until the next day sometime.
Mm.
Your
Unless you
your
could swim
history.
fast.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're an Olympic swimmer, maybe you have a
Right.
shot. But even then, think about it though. The thought of like falling into that water and you're by yourself
I know.
and there's no one around you, there's nobody you can call out to, it's terrifying. And that's why like these people that go on these cruises, a lot of times people go there to deliberately eliminate people
Yeah.
because you're in international waters
Yeah.
and the person is you wake up, oh, they're not here. Where are they
Mhm.
at? And they'll never be able to prove anything.
Right.
That body's gone. It's eaten up so fast. And it's like almost the perfect crime. And
Mm-mm.
that's a
Think of
scary
all the
thought.
people that just get lost at sea for like
Yeah.
days, or there was a guy that like got lost at sea for like a month, and he like lived. Like imagine that,
Dude.
like just day and night, you're just like out there just bobbing in the ocean.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Just
I don't know
like
how you
like
yeah.
yeah, like you just have like a little like raft, like that's it. Like
But
Nope.
if you're off your balcony, you have nothing. Your
Right.
legs, I mean, you're gonna get tired. It's not gonna end well.
a lot of floating. You better be able to
A
float.
lot of floating on your back and hoping somebody, you're not dinner for somebody.
Right. That would just
Ooh.
be so freaking scary to think of that, man. And like
Oh,
you're
awful.
right, because there's not much there. I mean, I've been on a ship. I think, oh God, it might have been I don't know. It might have been
Was
20 years
Gilligan
ago,
there?
but I wish. But it was a small trip. It wasn't, to anywhere big or anything like that. But yeah, there was a lot of fear, man, because there's not much between you and falling off of that damn ship into
Nope.
the water, man. And it is a scary thought. It really is. I just oof. But
Yeah.
back to your point, man, I would not travel halfway into the triangle. As much as I'm interested in it since I was a little kid, and it's been a long time, I just couldn't see myself doing it. I really couldn't. Like, and I'm being so serious. Like, if they said,
believe it.
"Hey, we will pay you like big bucks or whatever just to do it," I don't think I could. I really don't.
I'll give you a
What if
free
they gave-
shirt
what if they gave
that
you
I
like $1
survived the
million?
Bermuda Triangle at the end.
Well, see, you didn't say that at first.
I
man.
know.
Okay.
I know.
What it is.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I just couldn't. I couldn't do it.
I don't honestly. I say that I would be the guy that sets the company up and then hires someone to do the boats and just highly insure the heck out of it.
You better build that right especially after Ocean Gate, man. Like,
yeah.
you know how like strict all that stuff is now.
That's
like,
true.
you don't want to be that company that is part two. Like,
would you imagine what you'd have to pay in insurance? I mean, you've got to be crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That company is screwed. But the problem was it was all negligence. Like it wasn't like they have no argument of like even the waivers, like all those waivers are null and void because you knew like you have like gum and tape holding parts of the ship together. It's like, but also I don't know why. Like I don't know why you'd be dumb enough to even get on that ship. Like I mean, dude, did you ever see that like interview with like I think it was like a BBC reporter or whatever when the guy even the guy was like, yeah, no, like he's like got on it and was like, you guys are controlling this with a PS4 controller and like he's like it's super cramped. I feel like this thing's gonna fall apart. Like and he's like, oh no, it's fine, it's totally safe. Like it's like, yeah, like I don't know how you could like look at that thing and go, yeah, that's what we want to do. Like let's jump on that. Like they don't even have, it's like it wasn't even like properly like descended. Like they had like an entire like Mickey Mouse rig. Like man, I would have been like, get me off of this thing.
Well, hold on. Was this in the Bermuda Triangle or somewhere else?
No, this is the Ocean Gate thing.
Oh,
they were going to that. It was what you wanted to do, but instead of the Bermuda Triangle, they explored the Titanic wreckage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they explored the Titanic wreckage, and it was essentially like a bomb ready to go off. And it's just like it was just like, when is it gonna go? When is it gonna go? And then it just like. But even that whole thing, dude, we could like dive in. There are so many like strange things about that whole thing, right? Like they said that they couldn't find and they didn't know what was happening, and like the news did all like the countdown to the end of oxygen or whatever. But like the Navy came out and was like, we heard the explosion, and it's like, so like you guys just didn't do anything about it, you didn't report it, you just were like, there it is. Like the whole situation was so weird. It was weird. It became like, or it seems in hindsight, it seemed like it was total just like media driven. Like it was just like, hey, this is a huge story. Let's keep it going. Because like literally, then my favorite part was them trying to explain what they thought the pop was, because they had it on sonar. They had it. They heard the sound. Everything. Like, and then it was so funny. It's not funny, but like them trying to justify it was funny. It's just like, oh yeah, we thought it was like tremors, or we thought it was like a giant whale. Like,
oh man,
like we thought it was the blue whale makes a sound that like, and then it's like, no, that was the ship. Like you guys decided not to report it and play dumb. Like,
so hold on a sec. Is this the one where it was a very small submersive sub?
Yeah,
there was a guy with his daughter. It was like 5 people or something.
It was a guy. It was a gentleman, his son. His son didn't even want to go. His dad just kind of guilt tripped him into going, and now his son's dead. I mean, the dad's dead too. And then it was the owner of the vessel. And dude, I'm telling you, like this whole thing was just crazy. Like the son of the owner, or I think he was his stepson. Just like used it as a way to like grow his social media following, and like was out here, was using it to like pull women, and like he used it to like make a bunch of money off of like all these people. Like it was just, the whole situation was just bizarre. It was like, this is a movie. Like,
it did sound like something out of a movie.
Yeah, but no, it was reality. Reality's stranger than fiction.
That's pitiful. So they just basically ran out of oxygen. They suffocated to death.
No, it imploded.
It imploded, bro.
It did implode.
Yeah,
from the pressure.
It just went down too far.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily for I know it sounds bad, but the best case scenario for them was that it imploded, because they would have died instantly. Like there would have been no pain. There would have been. They wouldn't even have known that they died. Like it literally would have been just boom, it's over. Right? Like everything happened so quickly. Like they just exploded. Right. But yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, back to the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that's depressing, man.
I know. Listen,
it's like, dude. You know what I'm thinking about now? Do you want to hear the honest truth?
What?
This is, and don't ask me why. Maybe it's because I was a kid. I was getting close to being a teenager, or I may have been just a teenager when it happened. I saw it live on television. It was my dad's birthday, January 27th night. I know you're gonna know it. January 27th, 1986.
Mm-hmm.
It's a moment that is
Challenger.
forever changed. The Challenger.
Challenger.
The Challenger. And I was watching that. We were all watching that. My dad and his buddy was over celebrating his birthday. I was hanging out with them. Anyway, we had the TV on in the living room. I'll never forget it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, these impact moments you'll never forget.
It's true.
This one, 9/11, all those, I can tell you when
yeah.
and where, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this TV, and all of a sudden, when he got to the moment where the explosion happened, and you see the booster rockets all separating, going like this. Of course, I didn't know. I was, like I say, I was very young. What happened? Even the announcer on the news didn't know.
Yeah.
And some people were like clapping and stuff, like they thought they were supposed to be separating, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then it didn't take very long when you started seeing all the stuff fall that this was not supposed to happen. This was an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And these people I just witnessed these people die
Mm-hmm.
live right now. I saw, and I didn't see their bodies, but I saw their death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, man, you don't forget that. You just don't ever forget that.
No. Nope.
And I don't know why I went to the Challenger, but after we were talking about this whole imploding and the instantaneous death,
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about fate, and it just took me back to that 1986.
Yeah. Oof.
Gosh,
Yeah.
dude.
That was crazy, man. I remember, and it was all over the news. And I remember just watching it, man. And they were talking about, the people aboard and, like Krista McAuliffe and stuff like that. And
first school teacher.
man, a school
That's right.
teacher. Yeah, I
First
know.
school teacher was going to go to space.
Man, it was just so sad. I remember, obviously I was just so young,
Right.
but I remember even as a kid, just being so sad
Yes.
about it. And
Mm-hmm.
even still thinking about it. We're talking 30 years, later, just thinking about that. It's just like, imagining yourself doing something that is so amazing and possibly so great as far as,
Mm-hmm.
and to think that you get a chance to go on a spaceship. It's even though it's been done, it's like, even thinking about that, it's pretty crazy in my mind. But to be a part of that and to have something like that happen, it's just like, wow, it's just mind blowing. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Do you guys know about?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Do you guys know about the Big Bird thing with the Challenger?
No. I don't
Maybe
think
not.
so.
They were supposed to. There was like a part of that, like part of the crew was they were going to actually have Big Bird, like from the show, like go on the Challenger. And there's a whole video essay you can look up online about like what if they put Big Bird on the Challenger and then all of that happened. Well, millions of Americans were watching that, like, and Big Bird just exploded. Like they would have to change the whole show. Big Bird couldn't just come back, to be in the show after a bunch of children just witnessed that thing explode. So like this guy goes into depth about like the alternate universe where they had to like change up the show and just do something to try to save face, and it's really fascinating. It's an awful thing, obviously, but it's fascinating.
That would have changed everything about Sesame Street, man. Like, can you imagine?
They brought his brother in.
What?
Big brother.
Oh, no. Well, he goes into depth about how the Big Bird suit operates, and that guy was like the only person who could do it. Like he had to like have his hands like up here, and like his legs were all doing, like every part of his body was doing something else. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah. No, it's a whole thing. It's like, look up the video, because I know it sounds like, oh, couldn't they just replace him? No, there's so much more to it that I'm not even. This is surface level. What I'm getting at.
It's not funny because of the
Here he goes.
horrific thing, but it is. But like, imagine if like next week on Sesame Street, you see Big Bird all like burnt, tore up. He's just like,
Dude.
I made it out. Okay,
come on, man.
Hey, if Big Bird was gonna do it, like, do they actually have to replace him? No, it's a fictional story. Like Big Bird's just all fucked up. Like they could have brought him back.
The actor, I believe, was going to go, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it was actually.
Yeah.
The actor wasn't just a guy in a suit.
It was the guy in this, like the guy in the suit was going to go to
who
space.
played him.
Because like he's not an astronaut. You know,
No. They were gonna do it for like publicity. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
like get people interested.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
were gonna have the actual guy that like does it.
Yeah.
They weren't gonna have an actual astronaut up there.
Listen, I'm not gonna try to explain it as well as this video that I watched on YouTube like a year ago. So watch the damn video.
Well, the school teacher wasn't an astronaut. I mean, she went up too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think she got I think Big Bird specifically got replaced by like her because like the whole idea was they wanted like the public interested so they could get funding for it, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But one of the original pitches was let's get Big Bird, you know, to go on. So
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, man.
it's upsetting stuff. Like
It
a lot of
is,
weird
man.
alternate realities out there.
It's crazy how like so many little like think of all the people that didn't go on like the Titanic that were just like like or
Yeah.
9/11. We've heard millions of stories of people that were like, dude, like my alarm didn't go off. like,
Yes.
Called in sick.
Yeah,
That's right.
called in sick. Like imagine
that
you just
crazy?
being at home, like you work at one of the towers, and like all of a sudden you just get like a text, and like you respond to the text, and that just makes you like like just think of all like the ripple of is it the butterfly effect where
Yeah.
like it's just like one little thing could have been the difference between you
Yep.
being in there and then or imagine like you call in sick and then you just see it at home like.
Yeah.
Oh man, like like that would be just like bizarre. Just
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
That's right.
jeez,
Crazy.
man.
Wow.
Crazy stuff, man. Well, we'll get ready to wrap it up. Who thought we were going to go down that road? That was
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, man.
Far.
Interesting
far
stuff. And Blucka, I don't know. Mark Wahlberg, did he cancel his
he
flight?
did talk-
That's crazy.
He did talk about. There was a couple celebrities that talked about that.
That's so
Seth,
crazy, man.
Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on
Yeah.
one of the flights,
On one
and
of the
he like
flights,
didn't
yeah.
make it or
That-
something.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Wow.
Yeah,
Like,
he talks about it a lot too. Like if you listen to an interview, like I'm sure you'll find him talking about it. It's weird. Like it's a very uncanny coincidence.
It is
Yeah.
absolutely
Man.
crazy, man. Well,
Crazy.
for you guys that have been hanging out with us, we really appreciate you guys being here. This was this was really, really cool, man. And so definitely, if you get a chance to leave us a comment, if you want to continue the conversation about Bermuda Triangle or any of these other things we kind of rabbit trailed into, which is interesting stuff in its own right. Don't forget to hit the like button. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we will catch you guys next time. And guys, thank you so much for a great conversation. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Hell yeah.
And as usual, the collective has spoken. We'll catch you guys later. Peace out and stay away from the Bermuda Triangle.
Stay
Yeah.
away.
Even
Stay
if they
away.
offer you money. Peace.
Not even for the shirt.